We were just doing some afternoon chores in the chicken yard, turning compost for our hens, so they have a nice late day snack, and cleaning up in the coop a little bit, adding some more mulch and material to their deep litter method, which I'll talk about in more detail in another video. That's been working beautifully for us. And freshening up the nest boxes and getting ready to collect eggs. And I thought what I would do is share some notes around this very, very simple system for making nest boxes. We've got 3 different styles here, and I'll talk about them in this video. This nest box system back in the corner has been here for quite a while, and I would describe it as still being just fine. It works pretty well. You can see there's 1, 2, 3 levels or tiers that the hens can lay in. We used to have it divided so that there were 9 total nesting spots, but we realized that the dividers weren't necessary. The curtains are kind of nice. It gives them some privacy, but they don't seem to mind either way. And this is made out of scrap lumber. I'm going to pull a tape measure out in a moment and give you some measurements. This works really well for our mixed breeds of chickens here. Let me point out some details. One simple element that I think is pretty important is that each level has a little board in the front that keeps material from falling out. This is basically like a 1-inch by 2-inch strip of wood. And then deep in here, underneath all of the mulch and layers, there are boards of old scrap plywood that can be taken out and scrubbed down with a steel brush once in a while, just to give a deep clean. But for the most part, we pull out poops as we find them and cover in a deep layer of leaves, and the hens seem really comfortable to be in here to lay eggs. Sometimes they'll sleep in here, and the ones that sleep in here are the ones that we have to clean up a little bit more because they'll poop in them. But by and large, the eggs are pretty clean, and the hens seem pretty happy and comfortable. Let me show you some dimensions. This structure is roughly 4 feet tall, just about 4 feet, 16 inches deep, and 36 inches wide. And each level has about 10.5 inches, give or take, of head space. So a little bit deeper than it is tall, so 16 inches deep, 3 feet wide in there, and about 10 or 11 inches high. That seems pretty darn comfortable for an average-sized hen to be able to move around and lay some eggs. Curtains certainly optional. Front scoop here to help them get in and out and keep material in. Definitely highly recommended. Really simple, all scrap lumber. This is probably a $3 thing. If you have access to milk crates, you may consider making your nesting boxes out of milk crates. I like this design quite a bit. They were very, very easy to put together. They're modular. They're pretty easy to clean. We can take them out and give them a thorough clean once in a while, and the plastic doesn't absorb things, so you don't have to worry about mites or disease buildup. You can clean them out really thoroughly, which you cannot do as much with wood. Milk crates stack on each other, so they make a relatively nice system that can go up and up. In our case, we have these units that are 2 wide and 3 tall, so 6 nesting boxes per chunk here. And most milk crates have a logical place where you can cut them out. They'll have, for example, this is what it looked like when we first got it. And with a simple jigsaw, you could use a handsaw as well. I just basically cut just inside of this reinforced spot all the way around, cut that panel out. This could be saved and used as a skimmer or a filter for a pond to skim out material or to stir compost tea things later on. And with a little sandpaper, it smooths it over so it's comfortable for them. Very, very easy. Probably about 30 seconds to a minute per milk crate to modify them. And in this case, all we did was zap in a couple screws at each of the levels and ran some wire so that when hens jump in and out of them, it's a lot harder for them to knock the milk crates over. And that's worked just fine. We haven't come in here to find milk crates tumbled on the ground. It's steady enough. So you could really set this up with as many milk crates as you wanted if you had 100 hens or more or something. And with this one, I just put the milk crates in the garage in the stack that I wanted them. Rest of them, there's a board on the bottom here. And then I took some scrap lumber that went up on one side, and on the other you can see that they're zapped together to make a little bracing here, and then something along the top so they can't fall out. And so this is its own unit. It could be taken out and cleaned. I don't know that it's even necessary, but it makes it just a little bit sturdier. I think these would be a little bit cleaner on the top if we were to put some sort of covering over these so that hens never roost on them. But it feels nice to give our hens more roosting options, and we don't mind cleaning a little here or there. Our water shows an example of that. Polycarbonate or plywood over them would be able to keep the hens. The hens never roost on this. Then collecting eggs is no big deal. I can just go in, we can pick them out of there, and the hens like them. They seem to lay in these pretty reliably. Overall, the eggs come out nice and clean. Once in a while there'll be an issue here or there. We can wash them as needed, but we're happy overall with this system. We get these milk crates. You might talk to a local supermarket, see if you can buy them. We have a supermarket that will sell them to us for $2 a piece. That's their deposit cost, and these will last forever like this. So simple wooden structure in the corner, 9 nesting boxes, a couple of dollars in materials, a little bit harder to clean, a little less modular, and then milk crates that work quite nicely. In total, all the nesting boxes we need for our 60 plus hens cost us less than $25 in parts, and we could repeat as needed. So if you're thinking about buying a nest box from scratch from Amazon or something like that, skip it. Make it yourself. It's very easy. Thanks for watching.